This is the FM Gold channel of All India Radio. In the program News Analysis, now we bring you a discussion on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's two-nation visit. The participants are Bhaswati Mukherjee, former diplomat, and Simran Sodhi, journalist.
The very successful visits of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Israel, followed by his visit to Hamburg in Germany, where the PM attended the G20 summit. After wrapping both his visits, the Prime Minister returns to India later today. Ambassador Mukherjee, when you look at the Israel visit, which has been referred to as hugely historical, hugely positive, and we see the great body language which Prime Minister Modi shared with the Israeli Prime Minister, would you say that this visit, which was long in the coming, has finally come at the right time and given us the right output that we expected?
Greeting him at the airport, the Israeli Prime Minister said that Israel had waited 70 years for this moment. From an Indian perspective, I think it marks a watershed in our foreign policy and is one of the most significant foreign policy statements that India has made under the Modi government. The India-Israel relationship, we must remember, started under Prime Minister Narasimha Rao, but every Indian government hesitated to send a Prime Minister. But this visit was overdue because the Israeli Prime Minister had come, and after the Mumbai attacks, when there was so much public outrage in India and around the world, the manner in which the Israeli Consul General and his wife had been murdered, it was very clear that this was a strategic alliance which needed to be strengthened. And yes, I completely agree with you that it was a very significant visit and a very, very successful visit.
Ambassador Mukherjee, when you look at the ramifications externally, there is this strengthening of the India-Israel relationship. There is also significantly a de-hyphenation, as it is being called, of India's relationship with Israel independent of Palestine. For a very long time, India was a little hesitant in recognizing Israel as a strategic partner on its own. There is a very important message which is going externally to countries like, say, Pakistan, when the Prime Minister makes this move and that move is received by Israel with equal warmth. The Prime Minister showed a lot of warmth in going. Israel has also stepped up to the position and given him a lot of respect, a lot of warmth. What is the ramifications when you look at it globally?
It has global ramifications, quite apart from sending a message to the Pakistanis who are clearly furious. And it also sends a message to our many Arab friends who for many years had agreed to a tacit understanding that India would be left out of the Middle East peace process. Now, India, for its national security interests, will go the full mile. This Israeli visit will also serve as a wake-up call to the Arabs that they should no longer take their good friend, India, who was one of the first countries to recognize Palestine, for granted, because we had taken for granted for a very long time. We are now a major player, and they should now accept us as a major player, and they should invite us also to join the Middle East peace process.
Ambassador Mukherjee, there is a lot of significance being attached to the fact that the Prime Minister made it a point during his visit to Israel to meet baby Moshe, the child who survived the horrific 26/11 attacks in Mumbai. When the PM went to meet him, he was also accompanied by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and they both met the child warmly, and PM invited him to come and visit India, and the Israeli Prime Minister said that whenever he comes to India, baby Moshe will come with him. Apart from the emotional outreach which we saw in the meeting between the child and the Indian Prime Minister, this is also a reminder of the cross-border terrorism, the terrorism that